the sessions have been completed. Give us some time to get that put together, and Sue will provide that to everyone. You can see on the screen that leadership training guides for each position and more resources can be found at Kiwanis.org. And each of your clubs should have received leadership training guides at the club. Our agenda today is we'll go over a little bit of international information, a bit of Michigan District information, but the real focus of today's training is for you as secretaries. Okay, so we are, of course, the mighty Michigan District of Kiwanis. We are the birthplace. We take a lot of pride in that, of being the first district, the first club, which is still in existence continuously to today. I'm going to let you read these. This is the motto, defining statement, and vision statement. We'll give you just a minute to look at those. This is for Kiwanis International. And then the objects of Kiwanis, with which most of you as secretaries have probably been exposed to, but just for the sake of reminder, here are the first four to take a look at. And then the last two of the objects. Keep in mind, these are great items to use as individual reminders to the club. For secretaries, these can be great items to put at the bottom of your emails or things like that when you're sending communications out to the club as reminders of our objects. So Kiwanis International has a strategic plan that the International Board operates and makes their decisions based on. It is their roadmap for working towards their goals, and it is focused on 5 pillars: membership and engagement, leadership and education, community impact, branding and image, and financial viability. Based on that, the Michigan District also put together a number of years ago a strategic plan which each of the governors continues and boards continue to work towards. Give you just a minute here to look at Michigan's vivid description. Thank you, Emily. And then Michigan District strategic plan is built on 4 priorities. And we know that Fran's goals and strategies already fall into these 4 priorities, and she will expand our 5-year plan to advance the priorities in a positive forward trajectory. Our priorities are inspiration, which is membership and engagement; impact, meaningful service; image is on our Kiwanis image; and investment is financial viability. We strongly encourage Michigan District clubs to have a strategic plan. Some of our divisions do, and we encourage clubs to. If your club does not know how to develop a strategic plan, you can certainly reach out to your leadership team for some support in that area. We have this cool little picture from Kiwanis International that sort of lays out where we fit into the big picture of Kiwanis. If you look at the very top in the leadership structure, this is you. You're a part of the club leadership structure as the club secretary, and you work proactively and alongside and cooperatively with the club president, the president-elect, the treasurer, and the other club board of directors. You are part of a division which is overseen and works with the lieutenant governor, and the divisions are part of the district. The lieutenant governors are a part of the district board, working along with the governor and with the executive director of the district. And then we're all a part of Kiwanis International that has an elected leadership. So you'll see that there. So here I'm going to hand the presentation over to your incoming governor, Fran Babich, and let her lay out her goals and her plans for the next year. Fran, welcome and thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm Fran Babich, and I'm from the Allen Park Club, and I'm excited and looking forward to working with you this year. I'm going to take my picture off because I talk with my hands and I'll be distracting, so I will take this off right now. Okay, we want to get off to a good start next year. We have several rough months, but we are Kiwanis and we will remain strong. We need to start our year off with enthusiasm and resolve. We need to help everyone start smiling again and be in harmony. We need to guide our members to get back to doing what we joined Kiwanis for, helping all children have a better life. We need to guide and help our members to enjoy doing old and new service projects that help our children. I'd like to repeat the vision statement because I think it's very important. It says, so that one day all children will wake up in a community that believe in them, nurture them, and provide the support they need to survive. This is our goal, our vision statement of Kiwanis. For the 2020-2021 year, I have three main and equal goals. They are service, communications, and membership. Just read over the categories underneath of those. The first goal I'll talk about is communications. What we need to do here is spread the word we are Kiwanis. We need to develop better communications within our club and with other clubs. We will help, if they do not already know, we will help clubs learn to make and use a website or a Facebook page. We have members willing and able to teach their club how to create a web page or a Facebook page if they don't know how. We also want clubs to help communicate with the community who we are, what we do, and why we do it. We're establishing a marketing technology committee that'll be able to help you do this effectively. We're still in need of a few members on this committee, so if you know someone that's good in technology or marketing, please let me know. The second one is membership. We have a great membership team that will help you learn how to get new members. It will help you on later today. There's a session will help explain how club coaches and how they help a club. They'll explain the benefits of sponsoring a service leadership program. Service is our third goal. And this one, serving the children of the world, is our main purpose. This is why most of us joined Kiwanis. I want to encourage clubs to do more service projects, encourage clubs to do joint service projects with their service leadership programs and or other clubs, and promote the Children of the Future project. I've worked along with several other members to develop this Children of the Future project for next year. And I thought I'd briefly explain it to you now, and so that you could start thinking about a new project for your club. The purpose of the project is not only to fulfill our promise to improve the lives of children by creating new service projects that provide parents and grandparents tools, skills, and resources that help children 0 to 5 years old grow educationally, physically, socially, and or emotionally, but also to encourage our members to get out into the community and make more others aware of who we are and what we do. When I've heard many young parents say that they do not know where to go to get help, this is where Kiwanis needs to step in. We need to design service projects that can help them. I, along with my co-chairs, past Governor Marian O'Higgins and past District Chair of Young Priority 1, Nancy Memmer, will hold presentations both online and at our virtual convention, explaining the guidelines in detail and discussing ideas for your projects. A patch has been designed, and once the club completes the 4 requirements for the patch, hopefully we'll be able to give this out at the district convention. In conclusion, again, the 3 goals are interrelated with each other. The more we communicate with our community, the more they know about Kiwanis. The more they know about Kiwanis, the more they want to do service projects to help our children. The more service projects we conduct, the more people want to join Kiwanis. And the more new members, the more service projects we can do to help the children of the world. I will now turn our training back over to Emily to discuss the role of secretary.
Thank you, Fran. So my name's Emily Bagwell. I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club of Livonia Early Risers, and I'll be guiding you through the club's secretary presentation today. As we mentioned, this leadership guide can be found online at www.kiwanis.org. Clubs were sent physical copies of these, but it could have been right around COVID, and some people may not have received them yet from their club officers, but everything can be found online. The secretary job description is: the club secretary ensures club operations run efficiently and manages many of the details that make the club experience great. The secretary works closely with the president and board of directors and is responsible for the management of all club records, including minutes and attendance at all club and board meetings. The club secretary can participate in all board discussions and vote on any question put to vote by the presiding officer. Some clubs may have an assistant secretary. This is a great way to train someone into learning the secretary role. And with this, roles can be split up however the secretary or assistant see fit, or at the discretion of the president and board. So if your club hasn't used this opportunity yet, maybe something you want to think about for the future, there can be someone as an assistant if you have been secretary and there are duties that you would like to have someone assist. And on the Kiwanis International system, you can actually have an assistant secretary right in there, so both people would have access to the system. Secretaries are the unsung heroes of a Kiwanis club. So thank you all for your commitment to being a club secretary. The district gives out awards based on the information that you share in your reports. And when a member can't make a meeting, you'll keep them updated with the minutes you send out. So your role is very important, and we thank you for taking this leadership opportunity. I wanted to get a feel for those who have been a club secretary before, or if people are new to the role in this training today. So if you have a chance and you can type in the chat box, just maybe what club you're from, if you've been a secretary before, how long you have been a secretary, if you have been in this role before, or if you're new to the position. Some of this information today, if you are a returning secretary, will be a little bit repetitive. You may already know the system. So if you have been a club secretary before, please share also in the chat any tips of advice or comments or questions you have throughout that may help others to the role. So feel free to type those in the chat box there. So logging into the club management system, if you have not been a club secretary before, this dashboard will be available to you on October 1st, provided that your current secretary has listed you as a new secretary. But if you are a new secretary, please ask last year's secretary if they can assist you in completing the next few reports until your October 1st term starts, and you'll have access to the system. So you'll log in or create your account at www.reporting.kiwanis1.org. This will be the site that you see to log in. This is a dashboard view. This is the secretary dashboard. There will be a video that Kiwanis International is creating going through the monthly report and how to complete that. So we'll just brief through that quickly today. There's also a PDF user guide on the system that I'll show you as well. Make sure you're using the email address to log in that is on file with Kiwanis. If you don't know what that is, you can ask the current secretary, and then you can, as secretary, you can change people's contact information. So in the future, if someone does have a name change or an address change, phone number change, email address change, you as secretary can actually log in and change that there. So here you'll see the arrow pointing to your secretary dashboard, and below you'll see information about the club elections. You'll also see on this page the service leadership programs. So all SLPs sponsored by your club will show up here. A green circle, as noted here, will show a club in good standing and information on the club's advisors here. A red triangle shows that that club is an inactive club. So if there's any reason that you think that club should be active, you would need to contact member services as noted here. If you need to change a club advisor, you would just press this icon here. You can change that contact information. And then we're going to talk a little bit about background checks. Kiwanis advisors to any SLP are required to have a criminal background check conducted and verified by Kiwanis International. Any member can receive a background check through Kiwanis if the club requires its members to do so. Clubs are encouraged to ensure background checks for adults who are working directly with youth outside the school and who may not have undergone a background check. But using the secretary dashboard, The secretary will report who serves as a Kiwanis advisor for each of these clubs. Once a background check is completed, it will show here, a little checkbox, and it will be collected here. Just for your information, faculty and facility advisors through the school just need to meet background check expectations for whatever their school provides. They are not subject to Kiwanis International background check policies unless they are also your Kiwanis advisor. So this is just the person from your Kiwanis club that serves as advisor. If there's a teacher or a faculty member at the school, they would already have background checks in place through the school. So unless they're serving as your Kiwanis advisor, they do not need that. And then if this person did not have an active background check, it would just show an email to send them a background check, because they do last for, I think, 2 years. So after that 2 years expires, there would be basically a prompt here to send that person a background check email through Kiwanis. That member, that advisor, would then get a direct email saying, enable here to complete your background check. And then once it's been confirmed, you'll see the check there. Clubs can also add or edit their meeting place directly on the secretary dashboard here, as you'll see to the right, which is then displayed in the club locator. Find a club on Kiwanis.org so that prospective members and guests can find you when searching for a club to join. The secretary dashboard features an option for clubs to update their meeting information right here so that it can feed real time into that Find a Club locator on Kiwanis.org. So be sure that your information is up to date. I know my club changed and added a Wednesday night option. So our secretary did have to go in and add this here, saying that we meet on the last Wednesday at 6:15 p.m. In addition to. So there is an option to have multiple dates. So here it shows we meet every Tuesday at 7:30, and then the 5th Wednesday at 6:15 p.m. The secretary must complete the club election report by June 1st in the system to update officers on the upcoming Kiwanis year. Make sure your club has hosted elections prior to this date, if possible, to adhere to the deadline. And if there is a mid-year officer change, let's say the president has to step down or someone new takes into a role, this information can be changed at any time. And this information is important as it is how Kiwanis International and the district know who to send information about club leadership training and other important information for the officers throughout the year. You can actually go back and see past club elections as well, but the current year it shows here would be 2019 to 2020. The secretary will also collect information from new members as they join Kiwanis. Generally, you'll want to get a name, email address, phone number, mailing address, and potentially other information regarding a potential employer, the club member's birthday, or any other information your club may want to record. You can use a new member application template that Kiwanis has online, or you can create your own. So if there are specific things that you want from a member, like you want to know their anniversary so you can wish them and their spouse a happy anniversary, or you want their birthday so that you can send them a card, you can ask for that information as well. Please add new members into the system by September 30th each year. And make sure to clean up your roster throughout the year. You do not have to wait until the end of the year to clean it up. So it is a good practice to think about deleting members that you know are not returning into your club about every quarter if possible. This is just so that not all at once we'll lose a bunch of members, but throughout the year it's actually active with how many members are in Kiwanis. An example of when you would want to delete a member prior to October is maybe you have a club member who moved and they told you they're not in the area, they can't participate in your club anymore. They're not returning, they're not interested in projects. You could just delete that member before October. Also, if you do unfortunately have a member pass away, that would be another time when you would want to get that member cleaned up and not still remaining as a member in your roster. Clubs are given until October 10th to delete members, but again, please check your roster for updates quarterly, and then October 10th is that deadline when you would want to clean it up by. Work with your club board and president and treasurer to give a day that dues are due so you can get everything squared away in time. So, people mostly know that dues are due around October, but if you give people a deadline, that will really help to get everything in on time and give you and the treasurer enough time to get it squared away and pay your dues, especially if you're looking for, an early bird award for dues. If you do have a member joining who is a service leadership alum, they were in Key Club or Circle K, they do get 2 years of district and international dues waived. So you may need to contact Kiwanis International Member Services to verify their status if they're not showing up as a waiver. And then if you have members who are spouses who would like to only receive 1 copy of the Kiwanis magazine, that would be another reason you can contact Kiwanis International for a cost waiver for the magazine. So you'll see here the member dashboard, the member management tab, where you can see all active members, you can sort by type of membership, and you can export a spreadsheet or print a roster and add a new member. So this is your go-to for everything membership-wise. For adding a member, again, it's going to ask you the basic information when you go to add them. First name, last name, and member type are the required fields, but please add as much information as possible. We do have the Kiwanis magazine, which is sent to people's home address. We would have to indicate their address for that. And then email. Hopefully you're getting emails from Kiwanis International. That obviously has to be in there for people to receive that. So please get as much information as you can from their membership application. Again, you can use a template that Kiwanis International has, or make your own if there are specific things that your club would like. Maybe you want to know what project someone's interested in, or what days of the week they're available for service to plan accordingly. So feel free to make your own template as secretary. And then monthly report. Again, there will be a video that Kiwanis International releases in October going through a video of the monthly report. Those of you who are returning will be familiar with this system. But the secretary is responsible for completing a monthly report for the club by the 10th of each month. This is for the month prior. So for example, the monthly report with the data for October is due November 10th. So once the month of October is over, everything that you need, you would know, and then it will be due 10 days later on November 10th. You can complete this report at any time. So on one of the earlier sessions this week, one of our previous secretaries said, you can go and edit this report anytime you want. So after every meeting, if you wanted, you could enter information. Halfway through the month, you could enter info. You do not have to wait until November 9th or 10th. You can enter at any time in October. You can enter it November 1st if you want. So just kind of however you want to manage your time, but that November 10th deadline is very important. So please make sure by the 10th of each month that that is reported. The online system allows you to streamline administrative tasks for your club, district, and international. There are no paper forms, postage, and everything gets updated in real time. International and district leaders can have instant access on your membership, service, and fundraising data. And these reports are really important because they fulfill your requirement to Kiwanis International. They provide data to improve our programs and alleviates the need for a year-end report, because if you do complete all of your monthly reports, your annual report will be automatically generated from those monthly. So the report includes tracking for signature club projects, partnerships, and charities, and the reports are used to give clubs district awards. So they're very important so that we can see what clubs are working on, know how many hours of service Kiwanis is doing, know how much Kiwanis is donating, and so we can recognize your club at district and divisional events. The reports are also a great archive tool for the club. Ever since the system launched, the previous reports are in the system and saved online. So you can even go back, or the new secretary can go back and look at what was completed a previous year. And again, the report can be completed anytime. It can be edited as well. So if you do forget something, you can just go back and edit it later. But again, it is due on the 10th of each month, and you can submit anytime prior to that. All right, so here's the monthly report launch page that you'll see. This shows where the user guide is. There's a PDF that will pull up here if you click this monthly report user guide. And this is a great tool to walk you through every step of the report. But you can click on the pencil icon to edit a report. These ones show they've already been submitted. But if it was not yet started or submitted, it would tell you that it's in progress or it hasn't been started yet. And again, you can also select previous years here under select year. You can send a copy of the report as well. So if you wanted to send that to a club email account that you have, or if you as secretary want to send that to the club president or yourself, so that you have an email copy of that, you can click that as well. Your report will answer questions about meeting dates and number of attendees, financial donations made, money raised, service completed, number of youth served, interclubs and projects with SLPs, and membership. For record keeping, you'll want to develop a system or spreadsheet to keep track of service hours and other things like interclubs and basically what your club is up to. So I would recommend having other people and committee chairs submit this information to you to compile. This is how Kiwanis will know what our members are doing. And again, an annual report will compile your reports together. But let's say for the Roadrunner Award, the Red Robin Award that is for interclubs that clubs will get, that would be from the information submitted in this report. So very important that you're including all of that. So if you do have someone who's in charge of interclubs, have them send you a report after each interclub's completed of what club it was, how many members attended, the date it was, how many miles it was away, because that would be the information that you would submit in your report. There's also a finance tab here. Currently, your finance tab should look like this. This tab will allow you to view any open orders and print invoices when you are entering new members. Your club can pay your invoice online or can print the invoice and mail a check to pay your dues. So with this, just work with your club treasurer since they'll be collecting the dues and you'll have access to this system. Work with them to print off that if they need, or to pay online if you choose to pay online for your club's dues. The secretary will take meeting minutes at all club meetings and board meetings. So you'll want to make note of members present in your minutes, write down any motions or decision made, record votes, record anything financial to reference later. And you'll want to send these minutes out to all club members for anyone who can't make meetings, or for the board to reference, or if someone's looking at when did we decide on this, they can reference those minutes. And these minutes will definitely help you fill out your reports more easily. That way, when you're going to enter how many people attended your meeting, you have it right there from the minutes. So a recommendation I have is when you are completing your online report, have your meeting minutes available to you, either printed out or on another screen. And then that way you can just reference those minutes and easily fill out your reports. Again, you can also start the report anytime. So if you wanted, after you complete the meeting minutes and send them out to your club, you could also go onto the system and go and enter that information that you had so far within that week or that month. As secretary, you are the main source of contact for your Kiwanis Club's communication. So ask for time at each meeting to update members on anything you received in the mail, emails, etc. Many times there are emails or things that are sent to your home address just to you and not to all members. So don't assume that everyone got something. There will be information that comes to you as club secretary regarding certification of club delegates at district and international conventions. That'll be something that you'll be responsible for sharing with your club. And then there are other things that may come to you from the district foundation or from your lieutenant governor that the rest of the club may not receive. So just make sure to update and take some time at each meeting to send that out to the clubs. You could also facilitate it via email as well. And then if you do need help, you can always contact Kiwanis International Member Services, which is just memberservices@kiwanis.org for support, or call 1-800-Kiwanis extension 411. And I will pass it over to Sue now to share some information on Kiwanis Let's Talk.
Thanks, Emily. You will see on our screen here, this is from Thursday. We haven't had an opportunity to update our slides yet. Every Thursday in the Michigan District, we host a program called Kiwanis Let's Talk. It started in March, and it was a program that started actually as a way to connect our Kiwanis members when the pandemic started. Since then, the program has grown and is now seen globally across the Kiwanis world, Kiwaniverse as we like to call it. And every Thursday, we have someone come in and speak about whether it's a Kiwanis related option, or whether, like Kim's a Kiwanis member in New York and talked about how she became a runner and has run 72 half marathons and never, wasn't a runner early and then changed it to this. So one of the things that we've done throughout the time is we've had presentations on alligator hunting, to cooking Cajun, to Kiwanis Youth Protection membership. And this next Thursday, the Kiwanis Club of Ormond Beach, Florida, who was the club that was the gold recipient for the Kiwanis Reads Summer Challenge program, is going to tell us about their program. They're actually hosting their club meeting at the same time, and they will be with us. You see a couple other sessions we have coming up on August 20th, we have a program called Servant Leadership. Dr. James Lemoyne, who is from the University of Buffalo and a member of the Greenleaf Servant Center for Servant Leadership, is going to talk to us about how servant leadership is critical in the time of day that we're in now. And then in September, the developer of the Paradoxical Commandments, Dr. Kent Keith, who wrote the Paradoxical Commandments, we often know them as Mother Teresa's Anyway sessions. And he will be actually coming in to see us from Hawaii that day to give a presentation in September. So we have been working on presentations. The new international president will be with us in October or September, but sessions that are open to everybody. You can register on Zoom and join us there, or you can just follow us on the Kiwanis of Michigan Facebook page, where we live stream them every day or on those Thursdays. Next, we have, as you may know, the Michigan District Convention will be held virtually August 17th to the 22nd. And I know that seems like a long time because it is, a week, but we will be holding sessions Monday through Thursday during the day with workshops starting at 10 o'clock in the morning with a Kiwanis Coffee Hour hosted by a Kiwanis Club, so that you can actually get interclub attendance if your members attend that. There'll be 4 of those that week. We will have a couple of Kiwanis cocktail hours as well, where we have a mixologist coming in and showing us how to do some mixes for adult beverages. And then we will be sending out links for the registrations of those days. You'll register for the day. You can attend any sessions that day. And then on Thursday or Friday and Saturday, we'll have our traditional honors and award recognition session, our House of Delegates session, our memorial service on Saturday and our retirement of our new district officers. The one thing that you should know is your club received or should have received information on how to register for the House of Delegates. This year, there are 2 candidates for the office of Governor-elect, Frank Palazzolo and Rosemary Robinson. And Linda Lother, who's with us today, will be seeking endorsement as a candidate for Kiwanis International Trustee at the convention next year in Salt Lake City. So your club is eligible to register 3 delegates to attend these sessions, and this would be a great time for them to attend the session, hear the speeches, listen to some other presentations, but also an opportunity to vote for a candidate and to vote for the opportunity to endorse Linda. You don't have to go anywhere unless you go from the kitchen to the couch, to the patio, to the backyard, wherever. There is no cost for this. And everyone will need to register. One of those, or those 3 individuals will need to register, because we will be doing an online election using a system that has been approved by Kiwanis International, so that it's confidential and anonymous. But it's a great opportunity for clubs to be represented who may not have been able to attend other sessions. And as I said, you get 3 votes, so there's a great opportunity to use them. So turn it back to you, Emily.
Awesome, thank you. And I know I just checked out the chat from those of you who shared your information on returning as club secretary. So it looks like a lot of you have been a secretary for many years. So again, thank you for continuing that service to your club and to Kiwanis. But we do want to open it up to questions. If anyone does have questions on anything we mentioned, feel free to type that in Q&A or the chat box, and we can get those answered.
And Emily, I will actually allow everyone to talk.
Okay, perfect. So you can unmute yourself if you'd like to ask
You
a
can
question.
unmute yourself if you want to say something.
Perfect.
You can either raise your hand or.
Hello, this is Don Stillwell of the Battle Creek Club.
Hi, Don.
And hello, everyone. And I would just like to make a suggestion, if I can. Whenever there are communications sent to secretaries, it would be helpful, I think, to include you don't necessarily need to, put, I know you don't want to always give out everybody's email addresses, but just like include what group it was sent to, like lieutenant governors or committee chairs or all secretaries or officers, which would just be a help to let the secretaries know who has already gotten the email.
Okay, gotcha. That's a great suggestion. We'll pass that along and see if they're able to include that in future communications. Thank you. Any other questions that we have today? Questions, suggestions? All right. Does anyone, any of our panelists, do you guys have anything that you wanted to add or share?
I just want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Yeah, and I think I would only share that the secretaries can be a really big help in getting the word out about the virtual district convention and how easy it actually is to participate in a virtual method. Our secretaries, I think, can help other members understand and be involved in that way. So I encourage you guys to encourage others.
Yeah, definitely. I know the I mean, even when something is sent to the entire club, I think it's still helpful that secretaries take time at meetings and share that, because how many emails do we all get, you know? So when you do receive something like that, we'll pass along the suggestion, Don, if it can be at the top, something like sent to, you know, club presidents and secretaries. But I would even say anything that you receive from Kiwanis International District, your lieutenant governor, anyone, you know, share that. And like Linda said, really stress the benefits of convention and the fact that it's all online this year, so people can drop into sessions as they choose. And, you know, hopefully we'll have a lot of clubs with their 3 delegates present, because it is so accessible for everyone. So yeah, definitely share the information of convention. If you have questions about convention or about how anything works, reach out to the district so that you can get that answered for your club as well.
Hey, Sue, what is the registration fee for district convention? You're on
Muted,
mute.
Sue.
Registration is $0 this year. There is no cost to attend convention, which is a great incentive. You don't have to drive. You don't have to cross the stage. You don't have to sit next to anybody. You can do it all online, and we hope to have a great participation this year.
And the way that the voting will work for House of Delegates, like Sue said, there's a secure website. But how it works is you will have to certify the 3 delegates from your club in advance, because those 3 will be the ones who will get the communication. I believe it'll be through an email or a text, Sue.
It'll be through,
So-
correct. It may come, if we have phone numbers, it'll be both.
Okay. So basically the delegates who are registered would get a link to their phone, to their computer, letting them know to vote, and then the deadline of when they have to vote by. So just make sure that those delegates know that they'll be receiving information and the time and all of that.
This could be the first time that our membership actually gets to vote on their phone by a link. So, but you can only vote once, because if you vote by the phone, you can't vote by computer.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just let your club know, let people get involved. And if you have questions, we're here to support. So, thank you all again. I know, like I said, a lot of you are returning as secretaries. So, thank you for attending today. We hope that you, you know, will share this information with your club. And if you need anything else, just let us know. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for your time.
Bye.
All
Great
right.
job, Emily.
Good job.
Thank you.
We'll
You guys, this is Cindy. This is a really good chance for members who would never have the finances or the ability to attend a convention
Right.
to actually see one without all the inconvenience and all the others. So I'm really kind of having the president and the board talk to the club members and say, this is your chance to actually see what we do when we go to these things. So,
Right.
you know, take a chance to take a look, because once we get back to live ones again, it might encourage more people to attend. They don't know what they're missing. They really don't if they've never been to one.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I agree.
Hi, this is Dave Foster.
Hi, Dave.
Dave.
I got a question in regards to when is the date for getting delegates into the district?
August
August
7th.
7th. Okay, so I still have time.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the other question I have is, Emily, what are you doing for dinner tonight? Oh, no, sorry, can't do that. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Dave.
Nice to
Thanks.
see you,
Yeah,
too. Thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, talk to you later.
I'll see you at noon.
I think this is the last one I'm on. I'll check the schedule for sure. Unless
I have
you
you on at noon, Emily, but if it doesn't work, we'll be all right.
Yeah, if you guys can do okay without me, I'm gonna go to the store.
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
Okay.
Poor Sue's
Okay.
been trying to do that for the last week.
I know you and Sue and Fran, you guys have been all of them. You guys are amazing.
Tomorrow's my grocery shopping day.
Well, Sue's been painting your house in the middle of all this.
And setting up convention workshops.
Yeah, she keeps
Superwoman.
going. She's an Energizer bunny.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Thank you. Have a good
We'll see you
weekend.
later.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Fran, we'll see you at noon.
Okay, bye-bye.